Good morning. It is January 26th. It's a Wednesday. It is currently 6 o'clock a.m., right on the dot. Thanks for coming in, getting some energy in the morning, visiting me, saying hello. Thanks for the comments down below. I appreciate reading those every day, and I will get back to you. I will reply to every comment that you leave. So I appreciate the support. This morning I was thinking about memories because just kind of living off of the thought of, we just went to the lat and a lot of memories are created and a lot of experiences are made, and some of those are not planned at all and some of those may last a lifetime. And like the football game that we watched, I mean, those reactions and those feelings, like, it was so organic the way that it happened. It wasn't planned. It wasn't say, hey, we're going to go to the airport, we're going to watch the game, we're going to sit down, put the computer on the seat in front of us. No, it was just very, very organic in the way that it happened. And I think part of that is why it's even more enjoyable, I would argue. But those kind of memories, and walking around the lake with my wife, playing with the kids, seeing the kids grow up, all these memories are good investments. Naturally, a lot of times when we talk about the word investments, we're talking about financial investments. But that book I've been still going over, Die with Zero, he talks about how to look at, when we put my phone down today. Did we try something else different today? But looking at our life and our memories that we make as investments. And whenever we think about investments, maybe we think about stocks or bonds, and hopefully what we plan to do is when we buy a stock in a company, we plan and we hope that the price of that stock, the value of the company rises, so in the future we're able to sell off that stock, or at least to make dividends on the profits of that company for that year. So we invest it to get something back. But not all investments are monetary or upfront monetarily beneficial. Like, I'm just gonna do it again. Like, for example, parents will send their kids to school for a long time. They'll send their kids and they'll put out tens of thousands of dollars of money in order to invest in their children for them to get an education. And the idea there is that they hope that that money that they invest into their children, not only does it benefit the child's life, hopefully, that it improves the child's life, but it also helps them to get a better paying job in the future, that they can make more than a person who doesn't have a degree in the university. So that's another type of investment. So thinking about, like, our memories are these investments, and these experiences are like investments, and experiences pay off dividends. How? It's when you remember them again. So the next time I'm thinking about a football game and I'm taken back to that airport, that's a payoff, a dividend of that experience that was made. The next time I see a picture of Dalat and I'm going to think about walking around the lake with my wife, that's a dividend payment of the experiences that I made. And so if I look at it that way, then I kind of get a little more motivation to make more experiences. Now, some experiences are more fun than others, but that's all relative as well too. So, like, for example, somebody may enjoy gardening, right? So they say that gardening is one of their most favorite things to do in the world. And they also say that the sum of your life is, the total of your life is the sum of your memories or your experiences. And so what if you were able to attribute a number to your experiences and your memories? Like, what would you put gardening? Every time you would garden, you give yourself a number, and you give yourself any number. You can give yourself a 9 or a 5, or some people say you couldn't pay me to do gardening, so they'd give 0. No negative numbers. you give that activity a 0. Whereas myself, I like to jump on a computer and figure things out and learn new things about tech and whatnot. I give that a 10 or a 9. Whereas like my mom or my grandma, she would give that an absolute 0 because she couldn't care less of computers and stuff. And so at the end of the year, if you add up the total, the sum of all of your experiences, like you get this number. It's an arbitrary number. To be fair, it could be like 5,709, and that's like your total number of experiences of the year. But being able to think about experiences as yielding these dividends, I don't know, it's kind of motivation for me to make more memories. And I'm glad that I have a record of the memories that I'm making, because I can go look back on the past year with clarity and look at what I did each day and to see where I was, what I did, who I saw, what I ate. Because a long time ago, like, memories were preserved before the internet, memories were preserved by your friends and your family. And every time you'd see them, you'd say, hey, you remember that time when? And that was a way of preserving these memories. And back then, those memories really had to be more, I would argue, it'd have to be more, there's a mosquito just flew in my mouth. Those memories back then would have to be more extravagant, a lot bigger to be more memorable, right? And because things happen every single day, but for somebody to remember a memory, back then, without the internet, without pictures, without anything, if it's just pure memory alone, it would have to be a very remarkable experience. And that's why a lot of times too, like back in the day, I really wish my mom took more pictures, because we don't have too many photo albums of us growing up. My stepfather, he loved to take pictures, so we do have pictures of like certain trips that we took. But a huge chunk of my life, like I don't have a single picture during those years, or maybe I have one, but I don't really remember what happened. And so a lot of times back in the day, when there would be fires, people would run in, and the very first thing they would grab would be their photo albums, because those were the things they could not lose, because those were the memories that they had made. All the other things that would burn up in the fire would be fine because they were replaceable, but they would grab these photo albums because those things could not be replaced. And so that's how we remembered our experiences in the past. That's how the dividends were paid out. But nowadays, companies have learned how to monetize on our memories, right? I'm a big fan of Google Photos. And Google Photos has this thing at the very top that says like 3 years ago, and they give you like the snapshot of this picture that where you were, or maybe you were with some friends, and you look at that and you get this feelings of nostalgia. And when you see that on Google Photos, it ties you to become more of a loyal customer to Google Photos. And it's very fun sometimes to click on those and say, oh yeah, I remember that. You swipe through the photos and you look at it that way. Facebook as well. Facebook also has the exact same thing. 1 year ago, it has a picture of you and you were doing something. And so big companies know that memories and experiences and nostalgia pays. And so that's how they've really cashed in on making and storing memories for you. Also stealing your data private. I don't know, maybe not, but that's why you don't post anything super sensitive on social media as well. But anyway, that's my thought for today, is that the memories that I made on this past trip, I'm gonna really try to hold on to them, and I've done a good job. Got a lot of photos, and I've taken time to just kind of stop and write down what I was feeling, small little moments, 5-second moments that I would see during the day, and just kind of write those down. And I give you a really quick 5-second moment that I didn't really think about. But my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law, they just recently got a new cafe, and in the cafe you have this new espresso machine. And the espresso machine pumps out, obviously there's pressure and there's steam and there's heat, and that's what causes the coffee to drip, and you get this really, really rich sour flavor of pure coffee. And So I was talking to my sister-in-law, asking her why, if I put, and this may be general knowledge, but it's something that I thought about. Why if I pour in boiling hot water into just coffee grinds, that the taste is very, very different. And she says because of the pressure and of the high heat, it makes the coffee taste better. And so essentially the value of the coffee goes up, even though they're the same grinds, because we use the exact same coffee up there as what's in my house today. The exact same coffee, but because of the process, the coffee tastes better. And so I have a little 5-second moment I thought there, like, oh, that's interesting how pressure and heat can make something more valuable. And so I just wrote that down, and I don't know where I'm going to go with that. I'll think about it a little bit more. You can apply it spiritually, you can apply it some other way, but just me being able to see those little moments and being, oh, that's an interesting analogy, rather than just a conversation between two people without taking anything away from it. So that's the one thing I really appreciate from Matthew Dick's book called Storyworthy, is being able to see these 5-second moments, moments of realization, transformation, and like I thought one way, but now I think a different way. That's a moment of transformation. And it doesn't have to be like huge, like a caterpillar to a butterfly. It's just like I thought this way, oh, now I think this way. And that little thing is called a 5-second moment. And it's a moment of realization or transformation. And I realized something different. And those kind of things you try to capture those moments. Anyway, that's a long enough video for today because I started really, really late, and it is 6:12 right now. So thank you guys very much for checking up on me, saying hello, getting some Mandarin in the morning, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Aloha, take care.